All right, there it is. Your first pick already down. Catan Championship League. This is season 1. It's the grand finals.
Got the link?
Here,
Yes.
Here with Retired Hero, and you've got Shinuslaw on the co-casting desk. First placement was Think playing black. We have Shanks on green, Speck on blue, and Bucksass playing orange. So right now, 10-8-5 is the first placement, or wheat and sheep. Again, Shin said it was a very, very fast placement. You've got options for sheep port, the 3-1, doubling up there. And all the brick on this one is grouped up together, 9-5-10, with an option to coordinate those nines.
Yes. Oh, 9-5-10-6-2. I'm seeing it.
9-5-10-9-6-2. There's also option to coordinate the 8s in this game too. I could see somebody putting down 8-4-3 or even just an 8-4 if they somehow get blocked out that way. But 8-4-3 getting to the sheep port, coordinating the 8s. 8-4-10 looks like a really strong spot.
Yes. 8-5-10 is the clear pick here because you have only 2 good wheat spots on this board. Maybe 3 if you say like 8-10. 8-3 is a good wheat spot. Only 8-10-4 and 5-8-10. And you also have like only good ore number, the 8 ore. And then you just take the spot that has both of these numbers. It also has a 3-1 port and also has maybe a port. So that's I think he didn't need to think about that much.
No, a clear winner with the 8 ore and then possibility for the sheep port. 6-4-10-2 for the sheep. 8-4-10 is the second placement for Shanks, who points out to 2 3-1 ports on the 8 wheat and the 10 brick.
Yes, I think you have 2 options here, right? You can either take the 8-4-3 or the 8-10-4. Like the 8-4-3 ore to take the ore, or you take the wheat.
Oh, I like the point out here. 8-4-3, and they're looking at the wood port on their turn back.
Yes, they're looking at the 6-9-2 or something like that. But Bucks is like I think 8-4-10 and then 8-4-3 are the easy picks. You take 8-4-10 I think is also a bit better because 8-4-10 has a lot of options they can do at 7th settlement. If you get 8-4-3, you maybe only have the 3 wheat, and having 3 wheat can be a bit difficult. You know what I mean. We saw that last game with the 11. 8-4-10 has a lot of options. You get the break that like is a bit cluttered up, but now it's interesting. But because Buxas doesn't get any good wheat, it doesn't get any good ore.
We've got some very interesting positions here. You know, I've marked out a few on there. I don't think the wheat port is too strong for 4th position, but I could see Think or Shanks turning around and trying for the wheat port and coming back. Maybe the 5-6-12, 5-6-11, one or the other, and then building back towards it. Right now, it just depends. 9-5-10 is such good production, but you're all in on this brick. So do you take the 3-6-9 or 6-9-2 and try to double up on the 2 sheep brick port? It doesn't seem that strong.
Yeah, so, there's always the meme strat. I like doing the meme strats in games. Not sure if you do it in the finals. That's like 5-9-10, 6-9-2.
That is as meme as it gets, you know. You get the brick port, and then you'll have to build to... Maybe you can build to the 5 wheat, I guess.
Yes.
That's definitely something.
You can also do 6-9-3, like 5-9-2 to 10, 6-9-3 is a bit more meme. But to be like looking at this board, you gotta play for longest route here. Yes.
6-9-3 going to the brick. That's
he does a meme strat. Yes. Oh man, you should have seen my face.
Oh, all wood, all brick. Love to see it.
Yeah. So 6-9-3, I agree, is a bit better than 6-9-2 because you should get a sheep trade here.
Yeah.
But maybe there is a world in which 6-9-3, 6-5-11 is good. You see, you still get break, but you get a bit of ore. You get your 1 sheep tile. You can maybe expand to the 11 wheat later. It's at least a bit less relied on trades. But What did I say?
But-
Baxas is an amazing player. Baxas is an amazing player.
I love it. I
And-
love it. What a
And
way
to
to
win
start.
with these, to win with this setup, you need to be an amazing player. You need to trade like a god.
Lots of
At
trades
least
to
in
be
the
had.
beginning.
So
Yes,
this opens up a lot in the middle, though. Spec now, 4, 5, 11. Start off with a road. You have the 5, 6, 11 if you want to go that way. They do want to get this wood, and it feels like they might be looking at 4, 9, 11, maybe the 9, 10, 11, somewhere to get a little bit more of the wood, because they're looking at the wood
I
port
agree.
anyway.
Yeah, the thing is, Baxas wants someone, I think, to take the 4, 9, 11 at best. I don't think anyone does it, because then Baxas has a lot of people to trade wood to, because not one person doesn't have any wood. Yeah, but I think 4, 5, 11 is something that will get taken here. I think for Baxas, I personally would have taken 6, 5, 11 instead of 5, 9, 10, but maybe he wants to meme a bit.
It is the 4, 5, 11 pointing south. Spec is looking for a 6, 3, 11 or a 5, 6, 12, but you know what? Both of those might be taken because Shanks is on 8, 4, 10, wheat, brick, and wood, and they're looking for sheep and ore. 6, 3, 11 looks like a natural spot.
Oh yes, 6, 3, 11 looks like the perfect spot for him. I think 6, 3, 11 could have also been taken by Blue. So depending on what a player you are as Blue, you can play the ore wheat sheep game, doubling on the 3 wheat. I don't really like that, but I think some people might have taken that here.
You know what would have been interesting if they gone 6, 3, 11, a blue here on Spec. If they went 6, 3, 11 and coordinated with Bucksass to come back to the sheep port and plow out Think, then Think doesn't get the sheep port because they're trading wood and brick for ore, wheat, and sheep. They're pretty natural trading partners. I think that could have been something that they could have talked about.
Yes. Oh, I have a great strategy from chat. I love it, Hakuna Matata. Do the Dylan here. the de-lighted. You know, you I don't know who would do it. It doesn't matter. You're green. You say to Baxas. So Baxas, I would take the 6-2 unless you give me 2 bricks or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. 5, 6, 12 is the pick instead for going the extra 3 week because they don't need it. They leave it. They leave it for Think, and Think immediately locks it down. Or wheat sheep for Think. But at least this opens up the wheat port for Shanks on the edge, and they already have the 8 wheat.
So you remember last game? Shanks also took a 10-9-2 instead of a spot we wanted him to take.
That's right.
Because and that is a 2 or now it's a 12 or. And this time again, I disagree with what he did, because what he did is he left Think with a second wheat spot, and you never leave the 5, 8, 10 player with a second wheat spot, because now he's nearly unblockable. He has 2 wheat, 2 sheep, 2 ore spots. Now the only way for him to not get a lot of death cards is the 8 being constantly blocked and the 11 not rolling at all.
Right, and I mean, Think already has a development card down. Luckily, this block pays off. The 8 blocked immediately, and 8 rolls again. So 2 ore shut down for both Spec, who gets caught in there, and Think is probably pulling their hair out. But Spec off to a good start, building out to the wood port. And I was wondering before this started if the 4, 5, 11 was a point to the 9, 10. 11 instead, because I predicted 6, 3, 11 to be taken, and probably the 5, 6, 12. So I thought that road should have gone towards the 9, 10, 11.
Yes, I think Blue took a risk here, because Blue thought, okay, 6, 3, 11 will never be open. That's clear. But Blue thought, okay, 6, 3, 11 by green, which should happen normally, and then maybe Black will take 9, 10, 11 to double the ore. Or, 9, 10, 11 to double the ore. That was maybe thinking, instead of 5, 6, 12. I'm not sure if that would have happened. But, that was what he was thinking. And I also, we're still a bit far ahead, but one thing I want to say, the 8 ore was blocked, and Spec was stolen from, and I'm not really sure why. Because Spec is not looking so good with his route down.
Yeah, I think was that before the road was put down? I think they were trying to break the road up. That was right before.
Maybe, yeah. but I don't think you need to break the road up unless you need to race. Yeah, but yeah, that's my thing.
What do you think about this first road? A 9-10-2 is open. This is going to leave Bucksass open with a triple hex expansion rather than straight to the brick port.
Yes, that's good. Buxus needs that. Buxus needs more resources. Buxus needs support. So much freaking stuff on this board, and I think he needs to get even more resources so he doesn't lose as much through porting.
Yeah, the robber finds its way back onto the 8 ore as we see more dev cards played out. Shanks has played one night. Think has already played one night. The race to the army is already there.
Yes. Shanks Shanks had a good start. Has a good start again. Last game he also had a great start. If you remember, he got 2 ore trades. But looking at this board, I know that Bucks doesn't have any ore. I know that Think won't give him any ore, and I don't also think that Spec won't give him any ore. So it will be a bit more difficult this time around.
Wow, first road down for Shanks is towards the wheat port, doubling up on the 12 ore, getting themselves a little bit more brick. A bit of a safer expansion. Nobody's going to contest that. There was an option for Shanks to build the 10 brick 3-1. They're going to get a 3-1 eventually on the 8 wheat anyway. I'm not sure they're actually going to contest Bucksass with all those roads.
So the thing is, I'm a bad guy. I would have tried to get on the 10 brick, or at least talk to Buck. No, not talk about Bucksass, because if Bucksass loses that spot, it will take him a long time to get to another 3-1. And if that's the case, Buxus will have a hard time to win. So what did I say? No one's trading ore easily.
No one's trading ore, but so many 8s have been blocked out, Shin. This is like the 5th 8 that's been blocked out.
Yeah, that's the 5th 8, yeah. Poor Winters. But no, I want to comment, Buxus got an ore for a brick.
Oh, that is a good
That's
trade
big for
there.
him.
Yeah, or for a brick up at the top. That's one.
Yeah.
But these 8s, there would have been 5 ores throughout the course of the game already had the robber not been sitting there. So both Spec and Think have lost so much from being blocked out, and they already played all their knights.
Yes, and Spec again gives a 1-for-1 trade. Shanks has 9 cards in hand. Shanks gets a 1-for-1 trade here. Think he should settle with that. Spec also gets a settlement, but I'm not sure what this settlement for Spec does. It gets the 11 wheat. And for sure, okay, for Shank is also not that big. But it's... You know, I'm not sure. I think you should have pushed for a second card here as Spec.
Yeah, Spec definitely does seem to be behind.
Yes, and he's giving up 1-for-1 trades on opponents' turn like 2 times in a row, only to get a settlement. This is not, which is not so important. Oh, that's the 6-8.
So many 8s. Yeah, I could see, you know, this. I think this does help Shanks quite a bit more. They get another point up. They get a port, which they can choose to use. For Spec, they get this 11-4, which is kind of nice. But it seems like they have to save all that wood so that they maybe for a chance, come back and double up on this 8 ore and catch the sheep port and force Think out. Maybe they can just plow their way through. Because there really isn't a lot of space for Spec to build. They might be able to build back to the 6 sheep if they really get that sheep port. But it seems like a hard game for Spec.
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah, that was what I was thinking. Buxus wants a settlement here, and there's one guy that think who want the trade. He needs routes.
Oh, 2 for 2 with Shanks. A road straight up for a sheep and a wheat. It goes through. 9-10-2
so
settled up.
I gotta say, okay, that it depends on what Think has, but I think Think should know that Shanks will do the trade, because Shanks has the 6 sheep, the 8 wheat, he has a lot of these stuff, and Winters, or Think, sorry for using up the name together, he needs the route, because if he can get the sheep port on the 8, he's using up like a sheep that isn't doing anything for him, and a wheat which is kind of important but not like super important. He loses a bit. And you see what he's doing now? Okay.
Oh.
Okay, now everything makes sense. Now makes sense why he didn't want the trade. I'm sorry.
Yeah, year of plenty in hand for the road settle. They get the sheep port. Unfortunately, it's still on the blocked 8, which just keeps rolling. And this time it's double blocked for Think, so they really need to clear this out right now.
Yes, but you gotta say Think would have already not won the game, but would have been so far ahead if the 8 was blocked.
So far ahead.
I mean, Spec also would have had a lot of good stuff, but I think just has a better setup here.
Yeah, doubling up on that 8 or the sheep. I mean, if that ever gets cleared out, that would be a big deal. Shanks should be able to make some moves here, and they're actually pointing up towards the extra wheat. They had the chance to cut out Bucksass, but they're doubling up on that 8 wheat for their wheat port, which absolutely makes sense, but that seems like a nice play.
Yeah, I think it makes sense for him because it's way better for him, but maybe cutting off Bucksass is good. But there could have been a deal in voice chat, because Bucksass really need that spot, so maybe they made a deal here.
They made a deal. That means no plows in this game. This isn't like the other game that we watched where they were plowing each other left and right, and upways and sideways and all over the place. But this is already 4 settlements down for Shanks. They're going to rely on these 12s and 8s to get their cities up. How strong is that setup?
Shanks is looking like last game. I maybe said 5-6-12 was not my favorite pick here, because I like 6-11 a bit more. But he's looking really good here, because the 8 or state block that much. But you got to think about the 8 rolled a bunch in the beginning.
It rolled
like at least 6 times.
At least 6.
So, yeah. So he lost a lot of stuff. So maybe it will go down. And now I think Shanks will get blocked, because it's difficult. No, I think still the 8 gets, because if that rolls, Winters is just too good.
Yeah, I could see it going back and forth, 8 ore to 8 wheat, and double road for Bucksass going to the 5 wheat like we thought. It is going to be the 5-2.
Yes, and that 7 maybe saved the game for Think, depending on when the next 7 comes.
That's right, until the next one. Right now, it's sitting on the 8 wheat, 4 rolls after the 3. And that's going to get some wheat and some wood sheep out onto the board. Spec trying to make a trade. Sheep for ore, trying to maybe get their city.
Yeah. So, one thing I got to think about here, Buxus is playing quite well. So Buxus is maybe abandoning even the 3-1 pot on the 10 and just saying, okay, I play for the longest route on the right side, because the right side is open so much. I can settle the 5-2. I can even settle like the 5 on the 3-1 port if I need to. I can settle the brick port. I can settle the 6 wood. Stick 8-3. There's so much stuff open. So I don't care about the 3-1 port here, because he's just so good at trading, and he can trade his wood really expensively.
He's got the 6 and the 9. The only other one on it would be Spec on that 4 wood and Shanks, and if that 4 wood doesn't roll, they'll need some more. 6 does get rolled for now, though, and that's wood and sheep out onto the board. Seems like they are trying to table talk a little bit and get some more trades out. Bucksass, if they can get this settlement up, that'll be their 4th settlement to keep pace with Shanks right now. But Shanks, getting blocked out on that 8 wheat. Their game's going to be a little bit slower now.
Yes, but they need it. Like, in Thing's position, you need to block this one. Because even though Buxus is starting to look not that bad, he still needs a lot to get the cities.
They get the settlement, the wood for sheep trade across. Bucksass giving it over to Think. So Think actually gets a wood in their hand, but this is a settlement down, and Think reaches for that 3-1 port to secure their fourth settlement spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I would have done that trade. I know Think is saying I don't produce any wood, it's good, but Think gave Baxas a settlement here.
Wow.
And
so the knight went over and robbed the 5 wheat instead, leaving the 8 ore open, which actually hit. So Think is on all kinds of resources now on their turn. The 9 rolls, that's going to be some coordinated rolls, and lots of knights played out now. 1 for Shanks, Spec, and Think. Think got 2 development cards on that turn and passed on to Shanks.
You know what the young people call that? Papadi. Papadi. So he's a papa now. No, but
he's the papa.
He needs to do that. I think his 5 wheat will be blocked a bunch here by Shanks, because Shanks is saying, okay, right now Spec isn't that threatening to me, and Baxas is starting to look not that bad. So I will block Baxas with Think together.
Yeah, I dropped the plow animation down because the 3-1 port does actually belong to Shanks now, as Bucksass gets stopped on that one. And in the meantime, we actually have Spec dropping a city down 8-4-3. Big moves on both sides of the board.
Yes. Yeah, so much stuff happening. I just wanted to say the reason why maybe Think did the trade for the wood for the sheep is maybe they talked to Buxus and said, okay, I give it to you, but then don't plow me to 3-1 port. Not sure if that happened, because it could be something. Because I think Buxus could have settled there.
That could be the play. That could be the trade. Bucksass actually rolls a 7 themselves and goes ahead and blocks the 8 wheat and steals from Shanks, who is on 5 settlements. Longest road as they point back towards another 3-1 now that their other 3-1 is blocked out. But Bucksass takes longest road for now, finds themselves at 6 points.
Yes, and I think he is not that interested in the 10 brick. So maybe it's not really a plow, because he needs to be efficient with his routes, and going there is way more efficient.
Yeah, every road contributes to the longest road right now, so the max will be 14 if they end up building it out that way. And they go for the 3-1 port instead of the brick port. What do you think about that move?
I agree with that right now, because he needs to port his wood and his brick. And with the brick port, he will get stuck with a lot of wood. So, and also, like I was saying, this one gives him the early longest route, so no one can sneak the longest route. And yeah, I think it's just easier to port wood and brick instead of just brick. He will go to the brick port eventually. I think it will be his 6th settlement.
I agree. I think you're spot on with that. He locks down longest road. No one can steal it. You know, maybe Shanks was thinking about circling around and grabbing that if they had a development card, or maybe even the push for longest army, since he's already got a development card down and the knights. And yeah, it's actually going to be 2 roads back for Spec towards the 6 sheep, even without the sheep port.
Yeah, I gotta say, in my opinion, again, Spec is trading a bit too freely with Buxus here. Spec gave Buxus at least 2 of the settlements he already has in hand. Buxus, he's only at 7 points. But compare Buxus this game to Spec last game. You remember Spec's last game? Spec also looked like Buxus here. Has a lot of wood, a lot of brick, some sheep, some wheat. But Buxus had 3-1 port. So getting the ore is way easier. You see? He already is doing it.
That's right. He's already making his bank for that ore and the wheat. 7 rolls again. Nobody gets 7'd out, but Think has control. Who's the rob here?
Yes, I totally agree. You gotta rob Buxus here. If you get the ore, it's so big. If you don't get the ore, you need to stop him right now. He got too many good trades in the beginning, in my opinion.
That was a 1 out of 3 chance to steal the ore because of that trade too. So Bucksass getting stolen over there. Think plays a second knight, and he's got 3 development cards left. Think has so many devs.
Yes. He really is a papa here, But yeah, he plays another knight here, of course, because he has a lot of knights in hand. That's the only reason he plays another knight, I think.
Yeah, so largest army probably secured for Think. They're going to find themselves at 5 points with 2 more cards.
Yes. And you see, Think didn't steal the ore.
Nope.
Yeah, Bucks is going for the death card here, is saying, okay, I can port for another ore and hold, but if I do that, I will get robbed for the ore. So I just buy a death card and either defend me, or if I get a VP or mono, I have a good chance at winning this game.
Wow, settlements going down all over the place. The 6-11 Desert for Spec, the 5 3-1 port on the east for Think. Think gets themselves to 6 points. Bucksass at 7 with a 1 down development card. They are being blocked right now on the 9 wood, and they keep getting stolen from.
Yeah, the game is so fast right now. The game is so fast. Yeah, you need to block Bucks here, especially after he bought the development card. Shanks is so it's a bit funny, but Shanks is nearly in the same position as Buxus, but Buxus has the lock for long route.
Yeah,
you know.
I agree. I mean, unless maybe they do the same thing. Maybe Shanks builds underneath, and you see that same fight at the 8-3 like we saw last game, and they block each other for that longest road again. It's the same position, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But oh my God, he's doing
it's the same position.
He's doing it. You're so good.
This is the Shanks special.
Of course, you know, looking at it from an analyst perspective, you need to buy a death card here. You port for another death card as Shanks, right? You need to get a city here soon.
You need to get a city.
There's no way you win the longest road race against Bucks. Okay, there is maybe a way, but you know,
I'm looking at it. There's maybe a way.
But you see 5, 9, 10 brick 6, 9, 3.
Yeah, he's got a lot of wood brick. I mean, it's really tough.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Buxass not moving his knight.
And Bucksass building the roads out to shut that down completely, saying, I have the longest road for sure. He's got lots of room on the top right. Bucksass should have a lock on this longest road.
Yeah, so Buxass not playing the death card here means, of course, he doesn't have a route building. I think we can be clear on that.
Yeah.
He can maybe have a Year of Plenty here, because he couldn't have Year of Plenty for a city.
Saving it up.
And he can have a mono. I just wanted to say
mono sheep port. Mono sheep port.
Oh, that is so big.
So big. Triple ore. 6 sheep getting thrown at the bank. Think is probably going to set down a city. And they've still got 15 cards right now. That was so much sheep out there. They go for a dev first.
Yes. If you go for dev and city, of course you go for a dev first, because maybe there's something that changed. But I don't think so. You need... Oh!
He's going for 2 devs first. He's already got largest army on lock. He still has so much sheep. 2 to 1. He's got the city anyway. I think
this game is so fast.
I think maybe he was thinking about holding for a second city there.
I don't think so. I think what he did here is really good, because anything but a knight is really, really good. Like even route building is good to go to the 4 sheep.
Oh, the 12!
You know who really likes the 12, maybe? Maybe it's Think, because he can snag an ore with all his knights in his hand.
That's right, Shanks is only on 2 cards, yep.
Yeah, Buxus getting the VP here. So, Think having a mono makes the probability of Buxus having a mono less likely. So, it's not like we can assume he doesn't have one, but we can think about, okay, there's a good chance he doesn't have a mono here. So, he most likely has a Year of Plenty or VP there. VP is the most likely, probability-wise. Right. And that's like... He wants to get the mono Year of Plenty with the death card, of course. The VP is really good, but you need to get the city down. And getting the city down,
it's really hard.
It's really hard. He needs to get some trades here.
Yeah, I think for Think, you know, when he bought that first dev card, it must have been another knight, because I think if Think had 2 VPs or had bought another VP, I think he would have saved up Because if he's holding on to 2 VPs, I don't think he buys the second card. I think he actually saves up and goes for the city and holds for that.
Yeah, you know what can happen is you see what Buxus is doing. Buxus is trying to trade.
Yeah, big trades. And they actually do it. No, 2 sheep for a wood, and then it's a 2-to-1 to get another dev card for Spec.
Yeah, so Buxus is, for him, a wood, and a sheep is now the same. Wood and sheep is also port fuel for ore, like a third of an ore. So him getting 2 sheep is doing a bit more than having 1 wood in hand. I think that was the reason he traded there. And yeah, Think has another dev card here.
Think's got another one. 6 cards in hand. He's already got 3 devs. Do they really need the other dev is what I'm wondering. I'm putting them on 1 knight and probably 2 VPs here. No, he's got a road building instead.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. That's a really good one for him because that's an easy point.
That's an easy point for them as they set 2 roads down to the sheep port and they buy another development card.
Yes, so for the development cards, like him getting knights is good. He can control the rover. Him getting VPs is like perfect. Monopoly is perfect, and Year of Plenty is also okay. So I think buying dev cards can't be wrong.
If you're Spec, how hard are you looking at this double road back to the 4 sheep to make sure that he doesn't have that spot?
So if I'm Spec, I would tell the other people here, you know, especially Buxus, come on, you want my ore. I can give you an ore. You need to provide me with routes to cut him off, because he is winning if I don't do it.
That's right, he did get an ore from that 11 roll to 4, triple sheep with a wood. Spec is probably close, they've got 9 resources. I assume that they might be talking about this. There was a 10 rolled before, so there is a brick. There's enough brick out there to get a couple of roads to the 4 sheep.
Yeah, he also has at least 1 brick in hand. I think he has like 2 wood in hand, maybe, and 1 brick, so he would need like 2 bricks and a wood. And he can trade, you know, a lot of stuff to Buxus, and for Buxus wants to do that. Even if he goes over 7 cards, I don't think he cares, because he needs Think to be stopped here. Because, you know, he doesn't have any wood and brick, so it seems like it's difficult to settle. But it's not, because I'm sorry, the Think can steal a lot of stuff. That's it.
Yeah, it's the perfect spot to block out, because after this, Think has no more development spots anywhere, no more settlements, so it has to be cities and development cards after this. But it still doesn't, I don't think this is a winning move for Spec. You know, they go 2 roads, they get a settlement. That only puts them at 6 with an extra dev card. No chance at longest road, really. And so it's still a long way to go.
No, it's a winning move for Buxus. No, maybe not winning, but you know, it's a move that Buxus needs to do.
Wow, they talk it out. Or for brick, sheep, and then a wheat for wood. 2 roads. Where's the big plow? This is the biggest one of the game. The settlement.
Yeah,
completes the plow.
They need to do it. They need to do it.
The table making it happen. The 4 blocked out. No settlement for Think. He's got to rethink his position and rethink their chance to win.
Yes, we don't know what his dev card does because he drew so many.
Another 12.
He can have anything. Oh man, Shanks with the 12. What did I say about the 2 and the 12? This time it's coming. And it's 2 ore. Can't say anything about 2 ore.
It's 2 ore. It's 2 ore. Now, Spec is still in a fairly good spot. If they get a couple of these 8s, you know, 3-11, they actually have a decent shot at sitting up again. But in the meantime, Think buys another development card after moving out a knight.
Yeah, he can't do anything else because, you know, he got cut off. But I think he's good enough to know that he will get cut off a lot.
Oh shit!
He just plays a route building because he has no other option.
Yeah, and Shanks gets 7 out, throws away one of those 12 ores, which is interesting. Because doesn't he need to keep those ores? Maybe he has too many ore?
Yeah, maybe it's too many. We got the 12 rolled 2 times, right? So maybe it's too many off.
Yeah, still doesn't get a city off with that one. The 4 roll. Spec gets 5 resources right now off of the 4s.
Yeah, but you see, even though he gets 5 resources on 4, it's still not looking too hot for him.
No trades, no good ports to pair with it. That sheep port would have been all the difference for Spec. Bucksass, they're at 7 points still. 1 dev, 6 resources. That 11 was actually really big for Spec too. Looks like Bucksass is still trying to make a trade happen. Yeah, looking for ore. Brick, sheep, looking for the ore. Maybe even the double brick for ore. Oh, imagine if only you had the brick port. You could have traded 2 bricks for an ore yourself.
Yeah. So I know in chat Real Crates was saying he likes a brick port, but I like the 3-1 port because you can also port your wood and you can port your sheep and you can take longest route. Because right now, you know, I'm not saying that Spec will win, but if Bucksass wouldn't have taken route, Spec has a VP, he could have had a small chance.
I think Spec's looking great right now, surprisingly, with the rolls that just happened, the 4, the 11. They could buy cards, they could save up for that next city. They actually have a couple of options here. Spec is not looking too bad. Of course, largest army is locked up, think already at 5. Everyone else at 1 knight or none at all if you're Bucksass.
Yes. Did you see what happened right now? Think didn't play a knight before rolling, and he wasn't at 7 cards or anything. Oh god.
And they roll a 7, and that's Spec and Bucksass both getting 7'd out. So many resources getting tossed.
Bucksass is crying right now, I think.
He's trying so hard to get that city up.
Yeah. What I want to say, Think didn't play a knight before rolling, but played one after rolling.
Right.
What are the reasonings for that? Most often you're on 7 cards and you don't want to steal another card to then 7 out. That wasn't it. So I assume he either has 2 VPs and he either had like, oh no, he on it that much. Think most likely it's a mono, it's a second mono, and he was hoping for a good roll. Maybe it's Sea of Plenty to see like if he can roll something to use Sea of Plenty, but I think it's a mono here.
Big plays right now from Shanks, though, dropping the city down 8-4-10, 8 rolls immediately, and then gets the 5 on the brick. I think there's a space here for Shanks to connect these roads again, because he can build another settlement and contest for longest road. Because right now, Bucksass can either spend all of his resources to build more roads or spend it to try and save up for this city, and Bucksass doesn't want to build more roads right now.
Yes. And Think with another knight here.
The knight goes back to the 8 wheat block. The 8 ore block did actually stop 3 or 5 ores from going out on the table. Think still rifling through all these dev cards now. You've got to think there's some points in there.
Yeah, there has to be at least a point in there. I'm assuming he has 1 mono or 1 you have plenty. No other reason to not play the knight that 1 turn. So one thing from chat I wanted to talk about for a second, because I agree with that. I said, he played the route building, and he gets cut off. I said he knows he gets cut off, but him getting cut off there means everyone has to trade blue cards, and so everyone loses cards, and he has a better chance to win. And he doesn't really need the spot. If he gets it, of course, it's great, but he would just city up twice, most likely.
Right. So
and he ate at the city.
Right, so you're saying you spend 1 of your development cards to make everybody collude to spend 8 resources here instead. Oh, the roads are coming down. Shanks is coming for that longest road. He gets it. He's taking it for now, and potentially at 9 points.
Yes, not only potentially.
Catan Champs, thank you so much.
Really.
Let's drop some fluffies in chat for Sparrow.
It's not only
Welcome
potentially.
To the flock,
I think he just
thank
has
you so much, Catan Champs.
9 points. And that means Bucksass needs to play 2 more routes next turn.
Bucksass could play these roads. I mean, I feel like Bucksass doesn't want to at all. And just watch, we might get another 7 as they're at 10 cards right now. We need to make sure that you keep an eye on Think, who rolled the 8 and gets triple ore. But you know what? Spec gets 2 ore on that too. There's 5 ore that go out. And then, the second city goes down. Spec is scaling up.
Yes, Spec is scaling up. And I was saying Spec can have a VP. and he can also take the longest road.
Oh,
I don't think it will happen. But.
And this is worst case for Bucksass. Finally makes it through with 14 cards. Says, yes, maybe I can build this city. But he looks like he has to spend it all to take road.
Yes. So, you gotta think here. You're tracking, right? You know what Shanks has in hand. And I think Shanks is kind of close to the settlement here. He has some bricks here. We know that. What are his other cards? I didn't track that well, but he's kind of close to settlement. He has a wheat board, so you gotta assume an 8 just gives him the win here. I think it's an 8 gives him the win, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And that means porting for a city here is maybe not the best thing. Maybe he thinks he needs to do it to have a chance to win it on his own, but
I think
that's
he needs
really,
to city if he wants a shot
Yes.
at winning. You know, if all he does is build roads, he's never going to catch up in this spot.
Yes. But if you don't city here, you maybe give okay, I don't think you give Shank the win. I think citying here is better. I think everyone will tell him to take the road, but if you city here, Think will most likely play either win or play a knight on the 8 wheat. And then I think Shank just can't win if you play a knight on the 8 wheat.
So it is going to be a 3-1's brick for ore. City goes 3-6-9.
Yeah. I think the table is screaming at him right now, but from his perspective, it's the right thing. And as long as Think has a knight, it's the right thing to do.
12 hits again. That's so many. Think does have the mono. Busted out. Took all the ore. City comes down. Development cards. Passes. He doesn't have 2 points in there.
Okay. I think they didn't roll an 8, which is big.
Still
so
on
he
4
can't
cards.
settle.
Yeah, 4 cards.
Yeah, we know Shanks just needs a settlement and he wins, but he can't do it with 4 cards.
Can't do it.
No, he doesn't have the right 4 cards here.
Think has got to be so close. They have 1 victory point, I'm assuming, and maybe 1 more knight and maybe 1 other progress card. Yeah. And if that's a year of plenty, I think they're well on their way to finishing this one off. Shanks now extending road, 10 roads.
Oh, Shanks is extending road. That's interesting.
But they got to contend with these 9s as Bucksass lands 3 wood and a brick. And they roll a 7 on themselves.
Yeah,
Bucksass getting hit so hard. He getting hit so hard with these 7s.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. The mono, like Chad is saying, was defensive because they knew that Shanks had 2 on hand and 2 wheat in hand. At least maybe even a 3 wheat, but that means he needs like a 10 to roll, an 8 to roll, another 12 to roll to win. So.
Well, defensive or not, got a city down and some devs. You know, that's still really good for Think's position. Another 7 comes down. Bucksass was only able to build a single road after that. Could have had 2 if he didn't get settled out, I think. And a 5 rolls, lots of wheat. Triple wheat for Think. And lots of brick on the board for everyone else. Shanks only at 1 card. Specs at 2. 8.
Oh, that's the win in hand for Think.
Think has a city.
Hand for Think. Yes.
Think's got the city in hand. Can anyone do anything to stop them now?
And no.
Bucksass rolls it out. There's no more monopolies. You're right. Think though is at 9 cards, but that's
that means you have to win even with the 7. Yes,
even with the 7. So I think if Bucksass maybe with a knight robs, steals 1, puts him at 8, hopes for the 7.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have a knight.
Unfortunately,
we know that, but and you remember what I said? Think really had the second mono when he didn't move the knight. So if you're a player at the table, you can also see that. That's why Catan is so interesting. Just these small things. You see, why isn't he moving the knight? And then he is moving the knight. What does that mean? And that meant most likely as a second mono.
That's right. And he played it well. Defensive, aggressive, however you look at it, it got the ore. Bucksass is at least going to try and salvage some of these points with the longest road and finds themselves at 8, which is still so close for them. And they could actually find themselves with a settlement on that turn after, but that's going to do it.
Yeah.
GG's, well played. That's it. Your Catan Championship League Grand Champion for Season 1, Division 1 is Think, coming in with a replacement spot, and they finished the game 10-9, 8-7. GG's to Bucksass, Spec, and Shanks for making their way to the final table.
Yes, congrats. And, at least the co-commentator was right on who wins this tournament from the beginning on. So
Shin was right all along.
I can tell everyone I know a bit about Catan.
Shin was right. He called it from the beginning. Shin called it from the beginning, before the day even started. Shin was like, this Winters Think guy, if they get a chance to come in as a replacement, they're my favorite. E-Box was the other one. Let's take a look at the dice stats real quick. 2s, the 12s hit a couple of times. 8s were rolling hot, same with the 5s. And that was the spot. 8-5-10 was the opening position for Think. A great first placement for Think. And they got away with a really nice follow-up. 6-3-11. Their second placement was great too.
Yes. I think one of the reasons they won, it's not the only one of course, but one of the reasons they won comes back to Shanks. Shanks not taking the 6-3-11 gives Winters the perfect OVG setup. Because if Winters has to take like 9-10-11 or 5-6-12, he's like way more blockable on the 5 wheat, and the 12 is a bit worse than the 11, or it's not as good. But Shanks wanted to do the Shanks again. We call that the Shanks from now on.
That's the Shanks on that top left western edge, connecting for longest road. But you know what? I was saying Spec was drawing really well for development cards. It ended up being Think drawing double Monopoly. Is so good. Monopoly so strong there. Victory points in hand too.
Yes.
Even got the road building. He had so many progress cards. Let's take a quick look at how many dev cards they actually bought. Think bought 13 of the development cards.
Yeah, 30. And he only got 1 VP. I mean, he got 2 monos, which can be thought of VP, so maybe he got like average luck, but only getting 1 VP is
1 out of 13. Hey, that's really tough. Bucksass bought 1 card, Spec ended up buying 3, and Shanks only bought 2. I think everyone just quit buying dev cards once they saw Think buy so many. Production was fairly close across the board, 69. Shanks actually had some of the best production, but they got 7'd out quite a bit. They lost quite a few. Shanks got blocked out a lot on that 8 wheat, it looks like, and they got stolen from very often. I think was stealing from Shanks quite a bit.
Yes, I think so too. It was a great game. I just saw in chat that Crimson Lotus won Division 2 and Thomas Moyano won Division 3.
Hey,
congrats to both of them too.
Yeah, huge congrats.
Yes.
I mean, tough competition all day. Crimson. Wait, did you also call Crimson and Thomas?
No. Someone else called Crimson. Gotta say. Someone. I think Mao called Crimson.
Sweet. We've got Winters in chat actually. Winters, do you want to jump in on this? Maybe we'll get let's get an interview with Winters. Let's go to Catan Champs. Let's get it on the voice chat here. We'll get table 1. Winters already there. But
let me plug my own. Let me plug my own stream.
Do it, Shin.
I haven't done it. So I'm also streaming Catan. I'm not streaming as much, and I'm mostly streaming my own games. But if you want to look at my stream, I will post the link in the chat. You can come to my stream too. But yeah, go to Catan community, table 1, I assume.
Yeah, definitely drop Shin a follow, because he's also going to be part of that TSS, the Settlers series. So he's going to be broadcasting some of the games. You got to be there. Let's jump in with Winters now and have a quick chat. Hello, Winters. Congratulations, Season 1 Grand Champion. I hope he's there.
Yes.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Winters. How do you feel? Talk to me about that game.
I got pretty unlucky in the beginning, I think, because it's good having this awesome spot 8-5-10, but yeah, I wasn't sure about my second placement, 3-11-6, and then yeah, in the end it worked out because I got 2 monos, which was helpful, especially the first one. The second one wasn't too good, but I kind of thought it's helpful to get the ore out of his hand. It was only 2 ore, which I get out of it.
Yes,
and
but
then sorry.
You needed to do it, and I can say something as a co-commentator we tried to look at your game, and we were like, if you get 6-11, you most likely win the game, in my opinion. I think Shanks should have taken that spot, because you get like nearly unblockable with 6-11, right? You have 2 wheat to 2 sheep.
Yeah, exactly. And a pretty big deal for me was that I said to Orange when he wanted that settlement on the 5-2, I give you the sheep only if you never plow me to the 5-3-1 port, which is pretty huge for me, I think.
Shin called
I
that
thought
too.
you would do that. I called that you do that, because I was like, okay, Buxus can go to that, right? But there's no way you give him the trade unless
exactly. And I think the 6-3-11 is good, but I also take the 6-5-12 if I get it.
Yes.
I mean,
but I think it's a bit worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
but
Winter,
then I'm unblockable because I have 2 of each. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Winters, how is it? You know, you just barely missed the cut in the regular season league. You know, you played your 15 games, didn't quite get. You got in because you were a replacement. How did you find playing in the league itself and playing for your 15 games?
It was funny to play in the league. So I heard of it through KOC, I think, and then I got into it, and yeah, it was funny, but unfortunately I didn't make it to the semifinals normally. But then Catan Championship asked me if I wanted to step in, and yeah, it was pretty helpful because now I could win.
That's great.
The whole tournament.
Yeah, you put yourself in a good spot. You put yourself, right on the bubble, right on the mark to be able to get there.
Yes, and we saw that. I think you got 6 wins out of 15 games. This is still really good. 6 or 7. I don't think it shows that any one of them is better. Maybe they just got lucky in one game. You're still amazing player, and I think I told you already. I knew you were going to win. I said it on stream. I said it before the semifinals. You're going to win.
This is actually
really?
just a show to make Shin feel really good. We just need to give Shin his credit. It doesn't matter that you won, Winters. This is really all about
Yes.
Shin,
It's only about me. Yes. No. Congrats. And you played that really cleanly, I think. And you got the typical OB cheat setup, and you just bought def, but that's what you gotta do. I really like what you did. And what else can you say? Is there anything in the game you thought was really interesting, or anything you thought that could maybe be improved in your own game or in someone else's game?
Yes, I think Buxus has to go for the brick port at the beginning, because he has wood and brick, and then maybe he can go to the 9-10 too, but then afterwards he should go to the brick port at first before taking road and all this stuff. In my own game it was, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't have placed the 2 roads down, but if I want to put the settlement next round there, then I can't place road building and Year of Plenty, so that's why I was doing it.
Right.
But I could have probably done it with the sheep as well. So maybe hold with the road building and do it next turn is maybe the safer play. The knights were fine, I think, playing them all the time. Sometimes I played them without even being blocked, but I needed some more production. I call it now. Yeah, and I had a pretty good. How do you say that? A pretty good thought of what other players had in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very good. So we talked about your route building a lot, and I think we came to the conclusion that it was really good because it forced the other people to trade Speck, who was kind of out of the game, a lot of cards, and you, I think, gain a lot because of that. And you don't really need the spot at all. It would be nice to get it, but you know,
it helps me because I didn't got any VP except on the third last death card. Or
okay, wow, that's.
I always got knights and the 2 monos, and then 2 Year of Plenties also, I think, which helped me at the beginning very, very good with the sheep port, which in my opinion wasn't maybe the right play. I'm not sure if I should take it because I need the 3-1 more. I have a lot of sheep, but I need the 3-1 more, and the 8 was blocked all the time. And if I don't get the deal with Baxas, then I think I can't win this game. If I don't get the 3-1 port.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have gone with my first Year of Plenty to the 3-1 port.
Interesting.
That's one more point where I'm not sure about what to do.
Definitely some really good development card pulls. But now being the champion of Season 1, Winters, do you think you have any advice for all the people, all the hundreds of people playing thousands of games in Catan Championship League? Any advice for how to get to the finals or even get to the semifinals and then how to win these games?
After that game, I have to say Orwe Cheap wins every time. Block the Orwe Cheap player. No, I think it's first and foremost about the fun. So you should have fun first and foremost, and to win, it's maybe sometimes good to stay under the radar, which I couldn't do in this game, but normally it's helpful to stay under the radar and get the win in the end, have a clear what is seal?
A goal.
Have a clear goal for your game and a game plan. Yeah, that's maybe the best thing.
I love it. That's the best approach. Number 1 is to have fun, and I think that's what Catan Championship has built the whole league around.
Yeah. Yes. It's a lot of fun.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations again. We'll let you go. Is there anything else you want to say? Any socials you want to promote?
Yeah, you could really go to Shinuslaw. So it's awesome. And I like you both streaming here. It's pretty awesome that we have this now on Catan. So yeah, thank you as well. And I'm out.
Great, thank you. Take care. Congratulations. Talk to you later.
Good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, Shin. That does it for us for this cast for the day. Man, what a fun time. That was a whole bunch of good games. Semifinals were good. The finals were good. Everyone go follow Shin. Shin, drop your link again.
Oh yeah, I can drop my link.
Shinuslaw 96. Shinuslaw 96. GG's to everybody who played. You know, you guys made this season a success. Catan Champs thanks you. I want to shout out Catan Champs, who puts in so much work. I don't think people realize how much work it takes to run a league like this, to figure out, first off, your sets of 15 games, your sets of 15 games, their sets of 15 games, 400 plus players playing thousands of games. Shout out to Catan Champs.
Yes, shout out to Catan Champs. Shout out to everyone watching here. I think all the viewers made it even more enjoyable.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone who joined the flock, the new followers, if you haven't followed already, I got Pablo Peja fan, 42 with the extra sub, Catan Champs with the gift. Everybody, the raids, you guys are awesome. Great time here. Shin, anything else you want to plug before we let you go?
Oh no, I don't think I need to plug any.
Yeah. Other than exclamation mark TSS the Settlers series.
I heard that tomorrow.
Ooh.
We both will be commentating something again.
Oh, you're right. That's right. So tomorrow, if you didn't get enough of Retired Hero and Shin, we're gonna be on tomorrow. This time not on my channel though. We're gonna be over at Fire 2 Tournaments. We're gonna be casting a Premier League match. But you know what? If you're sad that today's show is ending, just get a little sleep. Come back tomorrow. You'll see the both of us again.
And this time with face cam for me.
Ooh, with face cam for Shin too. That's right. We'll have to put on a good face for that.
Yes. So thank you for having me. It was really fun for me. So I'm glad that I hope that you also enjoyed it, and I'm glad that other people enjoyed it too. So
awesome. I loved it. I enjoyed it. It's such a good time. You fit perfect at the desk. Great personality. And yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow for round number 2 with you.
Yes, I'm also. So
All right.
thank you. I want to say have a good night, but for you, that's maybe a bit too early.
I'm just getting started. It's the afternoon here. But thanks. I'll enjoy my day. I will talk to you later, Shin. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Talk to you later. Thank you.
Take care. That's it. Catan Champs. Thank you so much once again. And right now, Season 2 is about to start in 35 minutes. Man, a hero's work never ends, right? Catan Champs, you are putting in work. Season 1 in the books for you. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. It was such a fun one to cast. Great games going back and forth. High level of competition too. And you know what? I promise you next time I'm actually going to cast Div 2 or Div 3 just to give a little bit of love around to the rest of the division. So maybe somebody else wants to get in on streaming these other games too. There's definitely lots of space here and lots of opportunity for people to get involved in different ways. If you want to come and co-cast with me too, just send me a message. I'm open to working with other people too and getting other people on here. As much as you guys love Shin is always welcome here. But it's nice to give other people a chance. I'm going to play the TSS promo one more time. Join the Settler series if you love high-level Catan like this. This is starting up later this month. We're putting a lot of work into this one. So, support Catan Champs, support us too. And then we'll throw it over to somebody else after this video. I'm going to shorten it up there. I think you all know what it's all about, TSS. Hopefully you've seen it once, you've seen it 100 times. Appreciate your support. If you haven't followed along here already, make sure you do. Most of these games will find their way onto my YouTube, which I'm so close to actually breaking 500 followers. It's actually wild since I started. We are reaching for our goal of 1,000 YouTube subs this year. So if we can make that happen, I'll keep doing content, I'll keep casting, I'll keep being a part of everything. If we don't make it, I don't know, we'll have to reevaluate where we're at. I'm still having a great time here. Stick around for the sub, or stick around for the raid. We're gonna drop all our fluffies in chat. This is a throw over to Goon GGWP. He's the boss, the owner of Wild Heart Esports. Exciting day for them as they're opening their season today. So thank you again to everybody. It was such a good day and such a good weekend. And it's not over. Come back tomorrow. I'll see you then. In the meantime, do no harm, do good, do better. We'll see y'all. Appreciate you.